Hello everybody. My name is Brittany. I am with the R2 Performance Center here at Fort Carson, and I am next in the chute to talk with you all about some tips and strategies to help us navigate through some of the stressful times that we're dealing with. And where I want to go with this conversation is really based on the fact that there's a lot of widespread information out there right now, and we are inundated with it, whether that's updates from social media, news, family, friends, coworkers, you name it, right? And while yes, it is meant to be helpful and meant to inform, sometimes it can have the unintended side effect of also creating increases in worry or stress or even anxiety. And so really what we're looking at here is that anytime we receive information, we have a way that we think about it. And it can evoke some pretty strong emotions. And maybe one of the emotions that's sticking out a little bit more as of late is fear. So where I want to go with this conversation and what I'm so jazzed to get into with you all today is how can we start to turn fear into curiosity? And I look at you like that because I recognize when we ask a weird question similar to that one, we usually get a weird look back. And then I love it. And you're probably thinking, Britt, you don't. Fair. I hear you. Stick with me here for a minute and follow me on this path, or more so bear with me, because I'm going to hit pause on that question, let it marinate there for a second, because before we can really switch from fear to curiosity, it's important to understand some of the neuroscience behind both of those so that we can have a base or a platform to have this discussion. So when we look at the research behind fear, what we know is that when we're in a state of fear, think of it as your survival brain has been switched on. And when your survival brain is clicked on, it really overpowers our ability to think clearly and think well. And along with that, we get some pretty intense and rigid emotions. Our fight or flight system's kicked on, maybe leading to some impulsivity or lacking or lower of self-awareness and control, ultimately. So can this process be helpful? Sure, absolutely, when we need it. And it can jumpstart us into action. Now I'm going to ask another question. And I know you're thinking, but wait, you haven't answered our first question. Fair. I know, I'm the worst. Hear me out. So how well do you think we do if we are coasting in survival brain mode for a long period of time? Not that well. And the research shows that, which really gives us a reason to have this conversation, because I don't want to get stuck there. So here's the thing. When we look at curiosity and that research, what we know is that curiosity is a way to combat fear. It is the antidote to fear. And research shows us that when we're operating from a curious lens, it allows us to be more expansive versus restrictive in our thinking. We can think more deeply and rationally about our problems. We're better and more open communicators. We have less group conflict, hopefully, from that better communication. We see increases in positive emotions and ultimately fun too, which weird, right? So that makes the question that I asked you all of how do you turn fear into curiosity a little bit more interesting, right? Because now you're saying I can have fun. So here's what I want to do. I'm going to leave this question here for you all. And I'm going to post more videos and actually dive into this process and what it looks like. But in the meantime, I want to hear from you. So I encourage you to comment, post, ask questions, write your thoughts. Let us know. So maybe even, Britt, you're ridiculous. This won't work. And tell me why, right? But now that you understand a little bit more of the science behind where a brain is at from both a fear state and operating from more of a curious lens, how do you think we can make that switch? So I'm going to pop up my information here at the end of the video, and we're going to start doing that as a team to give you another way to reach out to us and communicate directly with us. But in the meantime, let's start this conversation and let's see where it goes. So stay tuned for that. And while we're at it, from my home to yours, stay safe out there and have a wonderful day.